Can nature heal? Can a moment of beauty that you happen upon on a walk capture your mind and set it free? Bill Harper thinks it can.
I really feel, spiritually too. I always feel closest to God out in nature. That's a big thing for me too.
Bill has spent his entire adult life chasing tranquility and peace, mostly for others.
I'm a social worker, and so what that means to me is that I'm interested in people, and I'm particularly interested in people who are struggling and have had a difficult time. I have a deep belief that it's important that those people not be forgotten, that we reach out to them and try to make life a little bit easier, a little bit better for them.
Let's go for a walk, I said to Bill. His home is on 10 wooded acres in southern Lorain County. It's very different from the postage stamp property in Euclid he spent the first 10 years of his life living.
I remember we had one tree in a yard next to us, and we used to try and climb it. A lady in the house behind us would yell at us, get down out of that tree. And I was just being a kid. I just wanted to climb trees. This poor thing.
Land is very important to Bill. Not in a dollar value way, not at all, but in its value as a foundation for who he is and what he hopes he is in life. When you see a branch that is broken and thrown to the side, wood cut to fit, only to be left to rot with all the others that didn't quite make it, in a way, you see what he's about.
I started out with people for whom the system had failed, who were in state hospitals. Some of them had committed terrible crimes, and we had failed them. I'm really proud of the work that I've been involved with to make those systems better for people, to help them to overcome their illness, but also to be accepted by society. The toughest thing about being mentally ill is not the mental illness itself, it's the lack of acceptance in society. It's the stigma, it's the shame that they feel. And the same thing with working with people who are in poverty.
Where do the seeds come from that grow the beauty we are blessed to be around? Where do the seeds come from planted in which a life's work evolves? For Bill, the seeds were all around him. They were in the variety of people and backgrounds in that simple house in the Euclid neighborhood. And they were in the time that he grew up in,
which was in the 60s, when there was this time when we really had a very awakening, I think, as a country in terms of our social consciousness about poverty and race, and obviously the Vietnam War, and the emergence of people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Bobby Kennedy.
Bill Harper loves to see change. He loves to be a part of that process. When he was 1 year past his 10th birthday, his family left Euclid and moved to a 5-acre plot in Chesterland.
First thing we did was build tree forts, because we couldn't do anything like that in the city. And then each of us, those first few years, Ron, we all put in our own gardens.
The first ever Earth Day was April 22nd, 1970. Bill was in high school and gave a presentation on Lake Erie and how its beauty and gifts were endangered by pollution. For 33 years as a social worker, he has tried to get through the pollution of life, bureaucracy, perception. I wondered, has he ever tired of it?
No, it's never been that way for me. It's the people you get to meet are just amazing. Their resilience, their inner will, their sense of humor. It's such an honor to be the one who is reached out to. It's such an honor to hear the stories, for them to trust you, with their story.
You could say Bill Harper's story started long, long ago with this powder horn and rifle that sits above the fireplace in his home. It belonged to his great-great-great-grandfather, an Ohio farmer who lost his farm in the Silver Panic Depression of 1893. Or you could find his story in the love of his parents, starting with his father.
For him, the number one thing in the world was his family. That was his gift to the world, was his family. And my mom was always, she's our heart. She's the woman who took care of us, who really raised us with her values in mind. And she had a real heart for people who were, unfortunate or not maybe as fortunate as we were. You have to appreciate what your ancestors did to let you do the things you do today, and I really do.
The creek that runs on Bill's property leads to the Black River, which leads to Lake Erie. It's all connected, just like we are. And that's what Bill would like you to remember most. We're all connected. Your 2016 Leadership Lorain County Eric Nord honoree, Bill Harper.